Have you ever watched a film and immediately known who directed it? Maybe it was the symmetrical framing and distinct color palette that screamed Wes Anderson, or the stylized violence and jabbermouth dialogue that could only be Tarantino. Or perhaps a cross-cutting narrative timeline made you instantly think, yep, Christopher Nolan definitely directed this, and what the hell is happening right now? But for the first half of the 20th century, nobody talked about movies that way. In the 40s and 50s, American film culture revolved around stars, not directors. This is what drew American audiences. The public lined up to see the new John Wayne movie, or a new Humphrey Bogart film. Directors were seen as studio employees and merely technicians to show the actors executing the screenwriter's work. So how did we get from the new Bogart film to the new Scorsese film? To answer that, we need to head across the Atlantic to France in 1954. A young critic named François Truffaut published a fiery essay called A Certain Tendency of French Cinema. In it, he argued the most celebrated French films weren't actually cinematic. They were scriptwriters' films, stiff literary adaptations where the director just staged the script. Truffaut believed cinema was its own unique art form, more than just words on a screen, and that the real artists were the directors who stamped their personal vision onto every shot. These were the auteurs, the authors of their films. Truffaut coined this idea as auteur theory, the belief that a director is the primary creative force behind a movie. Their style, their themes, their worldview, all visible across their body of work. A cinematic voice that you could recognize the same way you recognize an author's writing.
Bien sûr, les films se font en équipe, mais que ou quelqu'un a quelque chose à dire, ou quelqu'un a des idées sur la vie et sur le cinéma et sur le monde. Et alors tout ce qu'il fait est intéressant, même si un tel film est un peu moins bien que celui d'avant.
The theory gained traction in America through critic Andrew Sarris, a friend and colleague of Truffaut's. Sarris gave it structure with his article Notes on the Auteur Theory, published in 1962, outlining 3 essential criteria for identifying an auteur. First, technical competence, at least an elementary flair for the cinema, as Sarris puts it. Second, a distinct personal style, a distinguishable personality of sorts. And third, a deeper interior meaning embedded in the work. Suddenly, critics began watching films by director, not by star. And Truffaut didn't just talk about auteurs, he became one. His 1959 film, The 400 Blows, helped launch the French New Wave, a movement defined by personal, experimental, director-driven cinema. And today, whether we're talking about a new Jordan Peele movie or a new Greta Gerwig movie, we're still speaking the language Truffaut gave us.